Well, welcome to the video. I'll be showing you how to get a build like this into Minecraft in a very short amount of time. And, at the end of it, it's literally like a 2-second thing. I mean, not 2 seconds, but it's extremely quick. We can take a 3D model like this one and convert it right into Minecraft. And so let's jump on in. Number one, I would recommend going to Sketchfab. It's the best website that I know of to download 3D models as easily as possible, and pretty much all of them should work, which is extremely nifty. So if you go over here and download the 3D model, I would recommend downloading the GLTF because that typically every single model on Sketchfab, I'm pretty sure, has a GLTF version of it. There's multiple versions here, as you can see. There's GLB, GLTF, there's USDZ, and there's FBX. The reason why we're going with GLTF is typically because GLTF is almost always available. I have not found one that isn't available as GLTF. FBX was the original file format. However, not every file is going to be FBX. That's why I'm going to be recommending GLTF. Though, if you learn Blender and you get used to it, I would recommend using the original file format. It typically works better. Especially if it's OBJ or FBX, it tends to be a lot more efficient and a lot better. Now, let's get back into our thing here. So if we press Shift A, we can get a monkey here, and we press numpad del, we can zoom in on the monkey. If we do middle mouse and hold that down, we could do this kind of movement here. We can scroll in and scroll out, and we can also do Shift and move around like this as well. So this is the general movement of Blender. If we go up to the top left, go to File, go to Import, and do GLTF, we can get our file wherever we put it. Now I put it in my Blender, and I put it into models, and it is in here. Now, I did uncompress it though. It was originally a .zip folder. If you don't know how those work, you can right click on this and press extract all, and you can extract the folder, and we will get, like, for example, pumpkin 1. Now I did download it twice. That's why there's two braces and a 1. That's why it's separated like that. It's because I downloaded FBX first and then GLTF. So we just had to extract it from the zip file, and now we can go back in here. There we go. So now we can import that as a GLTF. Now sometimes Blender does act weirdly if you just try doing this sometimes. As you can see, it didn't work properly. So I would recommend just clicking 1, for example, and then pressing export, and that should work. Now, of course, like I mentioned, Blender sort of freaks out when you just import something and try doing Blip with it. So I would recommend scaling it to the size that you want first. Like, go in, figure out what size you want, and then press export. So for example, I want around 40 or so blocks. Let's do 48 blocks. Let's go to here, and now when we press it, we will see that yes, it's working. So that's how I would recommend doing it. Scale it first. It should work after you scale it. If not, then definitely comment if that happens sometime in the future. Hello, me from the future here. I messed up on a little bit of the explanation. I did not tell you how to get this menu open, so let me show you how to do that. Typically what I recommend doing though is selecting your object first, then pressing N, because most of the time that will send you to this location here. If not, you can just press on item. That is where we want to be. Yours will look a little bit different. You will have item, tool, view, and blip if you have blip installed. If not, it will just be these top 3. And with this here, we can see the exact dimensions of our object. So we could scale it up by pressing S. We could scale it up by selecting all of these by just clicking on it and dragging down and scaling it up. Or if we want to select all the dimensions and scaling it up, there's different ways of doing it. Typically, I just use S and scale it up like this. And once I get close to the height that I want, let's say 50, I can hold Shift to fine-tune it a bit more precisely. There we go. Now we have it at 50 blocks exactly. Now I like to have it where the bottom of the 3D model is right at 0, 0. So in this case, it's going to be 25 meters or blocks up. Yep, 1 meter for 1 block. And it should be completely set up perfectly now to do whatever you want to do with it. Now, I would recommend watching some other videos on how to do stuff because there's a whole lot that you can do. I mean, if you press just a couple different buttons and we can do something like that, like using the keybinds are extremely helpful. You don't have to, because of course, most of the stuff you'll want to do is probably already here, including like the location, if you want to change the location, or the rotation. Pretty much everything can be done with these different settings in that you can see, but the key presses are way easier to use once you learn them. So I'd recommend watching some tutorials, getting used to Blender, and figuring it out. But anyway, let's get back to the video. The next issue will be this here. However, I do need to explain that when you do this, you will get an error the first time you do it. So the reason why I didn't is because I already have this file saved. So if we go, so what you need to do first is do save as, and save your .blend file, save your file, like your whole Blender file here, at the location you want your export to go to, because it goes to the location of your blend file. I did that way for convenience sakes. You don't need to type in where you want it to be. You can use this and select where you want it to be, and use this as like your, it's just more convenient. We'll just leave it at that for the way that I use Blender and I use Blip. This tends to be more convenient for me. If it's not for you guys, then comment some suggestions down below. Hopefully that made sense. But yeah, I have it saved to my Minecraft Funk OPJ file, and whenever like this is the file right here. So whenever I export, it will show up here inside of the File Explorer, like the default Windows File Explorer, for example. Now, once you have your thing saved, now we can press export and get it to work correctly. So when we do it, yeah, then it would work correctly. Earlier it wouldn't have worked, but I already had it saved. This is the same file I'm using for the previous tests as well. Now, another little issue is this here. Now, understand this is because the 3D model is too thin. Like, apparently this is too thin of a model, so there's like some issues with it because it's not able to figure out where stuff is at because it's just too small. What I would recommend doing is go to the modifiers tab here and do solidify modifier and set the thickness up to 1 meter. And yeah, you will get some like weird artifacts on some of these 3D models. It's not that big of a deal because once you press export, it ends up looking pretty much fine. Especially if it's bigger, the bigger it is, it will change the way that it looks because it changes based off of the size of it. And because this is so thin, when we set it to 1 meter, that means that the entire 3D model will be a lot thicker, so it's able to actually see, it's able to create the model, like the formatted model, a lot better. Now, if you don't like the way that this looks because it's too blockified, if you're downloading like very, how do I put this, low poly models, then you can go over to here and get a subdivision surface modifier. Now, it may cause a lot of lag, especially because I'm putting this on top of the 3D model, and you'll notice that it didn't really fix the issue. That's because we did our adjustments here first, because I exported it. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing it the way I just did it, because there's a good chance you'll crash your computer. What I recommend instead is deleting both of them and then doing your subdivision surface modifier, like what I just did here, then going and doing the remesh. I'd also typically recommend doing just pressing export because it's actually faster than doing the remesh, because remesh almost always starts at 0.1, while the remesh that I did when you press export is at just 1 meter, so it tends to be better. What you'll notice that this one also has a similar issue that we had earlier. Now, there's different ways of fixing this, like changing the size can also help sometimes, because the bigger something is, it could change. Yeah, as you can see there, when we scaled it up, it sort of lost what the 3D model looked like. But if we scale it down, it fixes it, it ends up fixing it. Now, if you wanted something really big and it like deleted your entire model like that and you can't even see it, what I recommend doing is the same thing, just the solidify modifier, change it to like 1 meter, it should work. Now, in some situations, it won't work because the 3D model wasn't 3D modeled in a way where it works properly. Like, I know that if we go over to here and if I delete this, you'll notice that there's these holes here. I don't really know what that's from. That's just this 3D model. It's not something that's necessarily, yeah, let's just apply the effect here, subdivision surface, and see what happens. So if we apply this, will it fix the issue? No, it didn't fix the issue. I don't really know what that's about. I think it's because of how it was 3D modeled. They 3D modeled it in sort of a weird way. In fact, you can sort of see that there's like these very strange shapes that form from this. So depending on your 3D model, you might get different weird effects when you try smoothing it out because it was designed to be low poly. So if it was designed to be low poly, it might be better just to leave it low poly. In this situation, I actually think it looks better low poly, so I won't be smoothing it out. So let's go back to the export. There we go. So now we have our 3D model, and we're going to export it to Minecraft. Now, we need to first off select the material that we want. I'm going to have this as wood 5. We press export and it's good. We go down over to here. We could do waxed copper. So now we can set that to be 0. So this is the material, of course. So this is the material. This is the type of material. If we go into Minecraft, you'll start to see what I'm talking about when we set a block here. We do set block and we do wood 0, it's going to be this block here. When I set this to be 1, it's going to be this block there. If I set it to 2, it changes block, right? So this is the material, and this is the type. So the number is the type, and the material is the word. Now, if you're setting it up for Java, this will be Java 1.12.2. So that means that it's going to be a number. For example, stone is 1, and normal stone is stone 0. Well, like the other versions is like stone 2, for example. This is sort of important to keep in mind because that can change how it works. Anyway, that's sort of important, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So let's get back to the MC function one. Now that we exported it, it is already in our file. We could actually save it to our Minecraft MC function file, so it would automatically go into the game. But in our case, I decided just to not do that. It didn't really matter. So I'm just going into Blender. Well, actually, no, it's going into my Minecraft folder here and going to func.obj, and we have this here. Now, one of these I actually think is one that I don't need. I don't think I need this one because this is from the previous attempt, I'm pretty sure. So we just need these two. So let's just copy that, and we're going to go into our folder here. Now, on my desktop, I already have this saved. Another thing you can do, I believe, is percent app data percent, and I believe it's like a couple stages back, maybe in. Okay, never mind about that. I don't know how to find it anymore. But there's plenty of tutorials and different things that you can look up on how to find your com.mojang folder. That's what you want, your com.mojang folder. It's in local state. Let's see where it's at. Can I see the whole thing? It's in local. Okay, wait. It's in. Yep, app data. Okay, yeah, app data local packages Microsoft.Minecraft UWP. So that's how you find it if you know how to get to that. If not, you can look at a tutorial on how to find it specifically, because I know it's a bit of a pain for a lot of people. So I'm not really going to be going over it because I know it's annoying. So I'm not going to be confused. Hopefully not confusing people. May have just failed there. Now, one thing I need to double check is that these are correctly formatted. Okay, good, they are correctly formatted. That's great. Now, currently, because I loaded into the game without the things being there for the first time, we need to exit and rejoin. If you're adding in new models, you need to do that. If you're adding in a model of the same name and the same amount of files as your previous one, you can press reload. So, for example, if we modified this file, what we'll see here, one sec. Now we have both of them. But for example, if we modified them, we could type in reload and reload our MC function file. However, it doesn't add new files. It only fixes our old files. So let's go over and just get somewhere a little bit further away so we can get a bit of a better example. So let's do function. We have a 1 like that, and we have 2 like that. There we go. And there. Okay, so now we have our little model. I did forget to do this one. Oh wait, no, this is actually from the previous attempt. So I actually did the wrong models. 1 second. This is from the previous attempt. I got the wrong one. So let me open up my file explorer and get to the other one, the correct one. So let's go to Minecraft, func.obj. And I'm just going to delete these real quick just to double check to make sure that they are exporting correctly, so we can set this as I'm just going to set this as stone 0 and export it. And we'll set this one to stone 2 and export, 4 and export that. So now when we go to func.obj, we will see that we do have 3 files this time. This is sort of weird. I wasn't expecting there to be 3 files, but now we know that that is the correct amount. So once we go into here, now we do need to reload the world again, and this time it should work because we were getting the correct files. That's probably a good idea, is just to delete your old files if you're doing the file of the same name, because it's very easy to lose track of them like I did right here. So now let's give this a try. I'm just going to do it in the air because I think that's actually probably a better idea anyway. Let's do function 1 and then 1, and then let's do 2 here. Now I did set it to stone this time just to make my life a little bit easier because I didn't want to refigure out the materials real quick. So there we go. Now we got our pumpkin. Of course, it looks horrible because I didn't set the materials correctly, but this is a really easy way of getting 3 models into Minecraft. This looks great. It's better than what a lot of people can build in Minecraft. This is a very good looking pumpkin, and it was super easy to do. And especially the bigger you do it, the better it's going to look. So the fact that you can get 3D models in Minecraft this easily is absolutely amazing. So if you guys want to check it out, I don't know when I'm going to be posting it. You have to keep, just subscribe to the channel if you want to see updates on it. I'll probably be doing more videos on it later in the future. You also see some of the other videos I've done on Blip as well, because I've done multiple different videos on Blip and different little time-lapse videos where I've used it. I think I've done like 2-3 time-lapse videos where I used Blip, so if you guys want to check that out, definitely subscribe to the channel. And this is pretty much it. Let me think if there's anything else I need to mention. I think I did mention everything between Java and the MC function differences, because they are slightly different, because obviously Java, the way that it works differently. So for stone, we would need to do this, and it would be the same stone if we did that. So the stone would be this, and this would be, and diorite in this example so that's sort of an example. This would be air. I don't know the different materials for Java. You'll have to try it out yourself and see what the actual materials identifications are. There's actually a website for Java. So if you go to Java Minecraft 1.12.2 block IDs, you guys should be able to find it. I actually have a link to this website, but I don't remember where it is. I will be linking it in the description if you can't find it, or if you can't find a website for yourself. But oh, here it is actually. So if you guys want to find it, it's this website right here. This is sort of a large website. It should be in the description, so you don't need to worry about it. But sort of keep that in mind that it was right there. I'm just checking this other one. Yeah, that's not the right one. This is the correct one. So this is an example. So like for example, 2 is grass, 3 is dirt, 6 is saplings, 10 is lava. So these are different examples of what I'm talking about, like the different material IDs. This is how you get them. I recommend just using this website. It's the easiest way of getting the correct material IDs. So that's the basic idea. And I'm going to keep that website up so I can add to the website, add to the YouTube video very easily. Now, for this whole thing is like really awesome. I plan on adding like a lot more stuff to this, and this could be like I don't know, I think this could be a pretty decently big deal. This is a very powerful tool when you use it in a good way. I also have a lot of other stuff that I've done with it that's sort of related to this for like Java as well as some other stuff. So I really want to continue developing this. I want to make it better. I want to do a whole lot of stuff with it, but it's taking a lot of time to do all that. So if you guys want to support the channel, like I said, comment down below what you plan on using Blip for, and that kind of stuff. And hopefully I'll be able to get it out relatively soon. As there's not too much more that we need to worry about. Also, don't go into edit mode and press export. It will give you an error. Don't do that. Just stay in object mode when you're using it. Like I just showed you, there's different errors or different problems that need to be fixed. For the most part, it's not too much of a big deal. I want to get it on Android, for example, and then it will be a lot smoother. But yeah, getting on Android is just, I don't see it as that important right now. I want to get it on Android. I have a lot of plans for this tool, but it's one of those things that I don't really know how the community is going to react to it. This is a pretty crazy idea. So hope you guys, liked it. But I hope we'll have to see how this goes in the future. I think this is really cool. It could save a lot of people a lot of time and a lot of money. And I know there's already tools for doing 3D model conversions for Minecraft, but I think that this will end up being much better than any of the ones that I've ever found, and I found like 5 other ones. So hopefully this goes well. Anyway, I'm trying to remember if there's anything I forgot. I feel like I'm forgetting something because there's something else that's like super important that you guys need to know, but I don't remember what it is. So I'll have to probably do some follow-up videos on this, as well as some other feature updates and future things, and hopefully I can take a break on doing Blip videos now that I've done this video, so do more entertaining videos and have more fun with Minecraft. So hope you guys have a great, wonderful, sublime day, and God bless.